Hello everyone, Soul the Scientist here again. Do you by chance remember that game trailer Gearbox released on July 8th, 2014, and everyone watched it and said, "This looks really cool, but I have no idea what it is other than not Borderlands 3, so I guess I'll check back in a few years?" Yeah, me too. But 1 year, 7 months, and 24 days later, that game has a complete roster of 25 characters, and I cannot wait to play it. On February 25th, we met Whiskey Foxtrot, Kelvin, and Shannon Aurochs, leaving only 2 heroes from the LLC shrouded in mystery, until last week. On March 3rd, we were introduced to Gunnar Cleese and Francesco Drake, better known as El Dragón. So, let's get to know these final 2 heroes, yeah? Cleese is a rather interesting character because, for the longest time, he was only confirmed to be an NPC. Along comes MentalMars with the astute observation that in early campaign gameplay, Melka is communicating with Cleese but later shows up in a trailer that suggests she's a playable hero. Melka was, of course, confirmed to be just that during Gamescom back in the fall, but in December, MentalMars predicted Cleese would also be a playable character, and he was correct. Again. The former director of Minion Robotics, a wholly owned subsidiary of the LLC, Cleese now serves as Nova's resident mad scientist and chief science officer. While he would much rather send everyone else on missions so he doesn't have to waste his time or get out of his chair, Cleese loves testing his new tech, so, like a true engineer, he created the best of both worlds with his Battle Throne Mark I, a piece of high-end combat furniture for use in the field. Cleese is a support character, but support of the variety we haven't yet seen. Miko and Amber restore their allies' health, Reyna applies overshields, but Cleese drops stationary pylons to restore his allies' shields. This allows him and his allies to have a dominating presence over an entire region of the arena. High-level play will be heavily centered around intelligent placement and use of his shield pylons, so if you're playing against Cleese, be extra aware of your surroundings. Due to his heavy support nature, Cleese is not particularly strong in terms of his offensive capabilities, but he is by no means useless in an aggressive situation. His primary attack is firing bolts of energy from his wrist cannon, and his secondary attack is a shock taser emanating from his chair that deals bonus damage to enemy shields. His wrist cannon can be fired indefinitely, but the shock taser has a meter associated with it, so continued use will require time to recharge. His passive skill, Tactical Battle Chair, increases his maximum shield capacity per level and glides in the air to extend jumps, much in the same way Ozkits functioned in Borderlands the pre-sequel. Also like Ozkits, he can perform a butt slam by using his secondary attack while airborne, but this ability does require a Helix Tree augment. His first skill is Energy Rift, which deploys a stationary pylon that restores ally shields and damages enemies, of which Cleese can have a maximum of 3 active at a time. His second skill, Energy Mortar, launches 6 mortars that do bonus damage to shields from his chair to a target area. Finally, his ultimate skill, Black Hole, creates a region of space that pulls nearby enemies to it and inflicts damage. Overall, I think Cleese is a fantastic support character and one that I see myself using pretty frequently. My heart still belongs to Reyna in that category, but Cleese is shaping up to easily be my second choice. The LLC are best known for being war profiteers, but there are athletes among their ranks. In fact, the LLC have their own sport, wrestling between humans and machines. El Dragón was one of the most popular and successful human fighters on the circuit, but in his last bout against ISIC, he lost the match. And his arms. So fitted with cybernetic replacements, El Dragón now fights alongside the Battleborn and waits for the day that he can challenge ISIC to the rematch of the century. Like Atticus, El Dragón lets his fist do the talking, but in a vastly different way. His primary attack is a flurry of strikes, and his secondary attack is a powerful clap. And even cooler than that, using his secondary attack while sprinting initiates a dropkick. He's a space luchador, it would be wrong if he didn't do a dropkick. His passive skill, Undisputed Champ, increases melee damage by 3% for each enemy defeated up to a maximum of 30%, and upon being knocked out, he loses half of his stacks. From the footage I've seen so far, there is no meter which tells you how many stacks you have. Instead, your arms gain additional visual effects. His first skill, Clothesline, causes El Dragón to charge forward with his arms outstretched, dealing damage to all enemies in his path. His second skill, Dragon Splash, launches El Dragón into the air and damages enemies in the vicinity of where he lands. Finally, his ultimate skill, Enfuego, causes an explosion damaging all nearby enemies and enhances his attacks and skills for the next 10 seconds. In addition to what appears to be increased attack speed, Clothesline gains a powerful leap forward dealing massive damage to an enemy, and Dragon Splash will stun all enemies damaged by it. From what I've seen thus far, El Dragón looks like an absolute blast to play, and he's definitely on my radar. As I mentioned before in my overview of Atticus and Galilea, I prefer melee characters with speed and mobility over raw damage output, so El Dragón seems like he'd suit my style of play pretty well. But he'll have to get in line behind Galilea. He has a lot of personality and some interesting Helix tree augments, so I would say El Dragón is definitely a character everyone should watch. And there you have it, all 25 Battleborn, with a mystery 26th hero coming post-launch. I'm calling it right now before MentalMars gets his 100% accuracy fingers on it. I predict it's going to be Empress Lenore. Betrayed by Renegade and currently trapped in the Void, she'll be freed at the end of the campaign and fight alongside the Battleborn. He's already predicted her existence as a playable character, but I'm saying she's the 26th hero. So if I'm correct, I decided we get to share credit. If you haven't already, please go check out MentalMars' content. I'll put links in the description box below to his channel and website. So if you found this video to be informative, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and a comment down below. Let me know which of these final two heroes you're most excited for and why. Finally, if you're interested in Battleborn, and you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. I would really appreciate it. In the next video, I'll be sharing my thoughts about the Overwatch Open Beta coinciding with the launch of Battleborn, what I think that means for both games, and how I think it will shape the future of the emerging hero shooter genre. So until next time, thank you very much for watching.